Hi everyone, Heather's Homestead here, posting another video. I had posted or recorded a video earlier, but the resolution was not very good. So a lot of the stuff that I was trying to show you guys was horrible looking. So I'm going to try to repost the whole thing, so bear with me. I hope I can remember everything I said the first time. I'm going to show you around our homestead. We've decided to live in the country and have gardens and animals and fruit trees and such to try to be more self-sustainable. You never know what's going to happen, and you just should be prepared. You should try to provide as much as you can for your own family that you can on your own property. That's just our opinion. Instead of relying on other people or the grocery store or whatnot, we forget as the years go on how to do things for ourselves, and we're just trying to get back to what our parents and grandparents used to do and provide for their family with what they can. There's 7 of us in our household, so a lot of what we grow it will go quickly. So we're trying to make the most of our space. So I'm going to give you a little tour of what we have going on. This is our horse trailer we got a couple years ago, and it was very beneficial because last night when we went to pick up our piggies, that's what they went in. We almost sold it when we got rid of the horse, but decided to keep it, and I'm sure glad that we did. This first cinder block bed that you're looking at right here has all strawberries in it. There's 104 strawberries in each cinder block bed, and that wood bed down there has maybe 80 or so, and they recommend 25 plants for each member of your family. So I think we're good as far as that goes, because each plant will give 1 quart of strawberries. So we planted strawberries in each and every one of these little holes, and if you look close, this is the strawberry plant that we got from Walmart. It comes as like a little in a bag, 25 of them for $5 or so. And these I just got are the ones that I got from Miller's Nursery. Much better quality, bigger plants, almost the same amount of money except for shipping. I would recommend them over these Walmart ones for sure. The Walmart ones will grow. We planted them in that bed actually. Those are Walmart strawberries, and they have done fine. This is last year's planting, and they're huge, and there's strawberries everywhere in here. So you just have to give it time if you're going to do like a Walmart kind of thing. I would recommend, like this bed is planted with all strawberry plants that I got. They were dry bare root from Walmart. I only paid $2 to $5 per bag of them. The ones down there are way better. They're way better quality. This right here, I don't know what's going on. If you can see in these plants or in these containers are plants that I grew in our greenhouse. My husband used cattle panels, which is what this is right here, a cattle panel. They're 16 foot long by 4 foot high, and he used one for an archway there. I'm getting a little off topic, but in this last row here, we planted sweet peas because they'll get 12 foot tall, and they'll cover this entire cattle panel. So it'll be a beautiful entrance into our garden. But we used cattle panels up here as well, my husband did, to build this greenhouse, which was wonderful. It was wonderful. They're $20 a piece. He used 3 of them. He framed it out. We just covered it with plastic. We have it held open right now because it was so hot in there today. It's only 60 degrees outside, and this thing gets 85, 90 degrees quickly. But this thing was filled to the brim with plants. And out of all, I tell you, it's probably 600 plants I had in here, only like 7 or 8 made it. And I think it's because the plastic is opaque and not clear. I'm not sure if that's why or not, but I don't know. We'll have to try something new next year. And I keep my dirt in here in just a container, and I keep my seeds in here, but I think I'm going to need to take them out and put them in plastic bags because it does get warm in here and the condensation makes them wet. Here are sweet potatoes. They're easy to do. Put toothpicks in the bottom, put them in water, and they'll start to root. And they'll start to create little slips. These are called slips at the top. And if you break one of these little slips off and put it in the ground, you'll have a sweet potato plant, and you'll get hundreds. I'm telling you, hundreds. We've done it. It's crazy. Put them in the ground. They work. So next year I'm going to get different plastic for the greenhouse, and I hope that it will work better. Over here we have celery planted behind the strawberries, and something I learned this year is if you cut your celery that you're using and you have just the bulb bottom and you plant that in the ground, cut side up, you will get more celery just like this. So that was pretty cool. I learned that. Here are sugar snap peas. This whole garden, as you can see, is covered in mulch, and my husband is a little obsessed with Paul Ganushi or Ganache. I don't know how to say it. Back to Eden films. Look it up. It's all about using mulch to help enrich your soil and keep the weeds down and grow your food that way, the way that God intended. So it's a good video, but my husband is obsessed with this, so we've done it everywhere. But some of the seeds, what I wanted to tell you guys, this whole thing in here is supposed to be dinosaur kale. There's nothing. Like nothing. And in this whole row, there's nothing. All of these seeds I got from Baker Seed Company. Spent like $300 on seeds and did not get, they didn't grow. They didn't do as well as I thought they would do. I'm thinking all organic, all heirloom, it would do great. It hasn't. I'm not impressed. I had better luck with Walmart or Target or Burpee brand or whatever, just cheapy. I spent all this money and I'm not impressed. I mean, some of the stuff is coming up finally. So, here's all our tomatoes. We have tomatoes. This was my husband's idea as well. Whenever we did tomatoes, we would just bunch them at the bottom of the garden down there from left to right and just do row after row after row, and we could never get in between, and weeding was hard, and tomatoes would rot, so he came up with putting these tomatoes around the outside of the garden as a border, and it's perfect. We can get to them from the outside, we can get to them from the inside. But look at this. I planted them on Mother's Day, and it frosted that night, and some of my leaves are all tore up. I don't know if they're going to die or not. I'm a little concerned. I hope they don't, but we shall see. All this paper here is where we're extending the garden. You just put paper down and dirt on top or mulch on top to kill it. Cover it with mulch and you're going to be good to go the next season. Or you can plant right through the paper once everything dies. Here's another tip. These onions, my husband, they're doing great, and all he did was put the seed in the ground in the fall before he put the garden to bed. Just put the seeds in the ground, and I think the same thing will work with radishes and beets and carrots. Just put the seed in the ground and see if it'll come up. I think they will. They did really great. Way better than buying bulbs and putting them in. Just seed in the fall. Here is lettuces that are coming up. They're doing very well. Some spinach, some kale, some beets, Swiss chard. This stuff is doing well on this side of the garden. I don't know if it's because it's more mulch or less mulch on this side or what. I don't know. We'll see. Here we just papered underneath this archway. We just papered and put mulch on top. And flowers on the side for the kids. It's starting to rain. I might not be able to do too much. I wanted to show you these last two, and I think I'll be done with this garden video for now because of the rain. Here's the onions that we planted. I planted them. I got them at Walmart. I got them as bulb sets, like in a bag, and my kids had put them in with the Goodwill pile sitting upstairs at the top of the steps, and I didn't realize it until like a week later when they started to stink. So I went and got them, and they were all like mushy and slimy and gross. So I just moved the mulch back and chucked them in here. I didn't have any rhyme or reason, and as you can see, they're like all on top of each other. but I didn't think they were going to make it anyway, so I just chucked them in this onion bed to see what they would do, and they did. They made it. Here they all are. Some of them are really big. Here's the asparagus bed. Asparagus are awesome. They're easy to grow. You find a dedicated spot for them and you leave them there. They can last 100 years. Their tap roots can go down 30 feet. Their first year they end up being like this. Even their second year, if you let them go, real thin and ferny like. They look like ferns. Can you see that? And you go ahead and just let them do that so they can get a good root system established, so they're not going to keep putting energy into sending up new shoots. You just let that one stalk grow. I have a couple in here that are good, if you can see. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Love asparagus. But a couple in here that are doing real good. I don't know who, but someone told my children that they're poisonous. I don't think they are. I don't think God would put them here to be poisonous unless they're cooked. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I know some things are poisonous, but that just doesn't make sense to me. So here is the garden. Tomatoes all along the outside. There's the greenhouse. I will need to fix the plastic and get a better grade of plastic. That greenhouse was not very expensive to build at all. The most expensive part of it was the plastic. And I went on the cheap side and just got something off of Amazon, and that was the problem. Like I'm telling you about the seeds I was telling you, look at this. I have one pea plant, and this whole entire area, the whole 16 foot was planted in peas, and nothing but one. These are the Baker seeds. I don't know what the problem is. They're heirloom organic. I thought they would be like strong and healthy. I don't know. I might just go back to the cheap kind, because this is a waste of my money and my time to have to replant. Here's a little teepee structure that we plant beans around. We're waiting for these heirloom beans to come up, and it just makes a teepee structure for the kids to play under, but nothing's coming up. Garden shed. This was our original chicken coop from 5 years ago. Just thrown together, slapped together plywood. The door was like just slapped together. Everything was slapped together, and this was fine for our chickens for many years. So even if you don't have much and you just get stuff off Craigslist, free wood or scrap wood or whatever, they don't need much room at night. That's all they're doing is sleeping and roosting in there and laying eggs during the day. They don't hang out in there. They want to be outside. So please just do it. Here's one of our newest adventures is meat rabbits. This is the female, and this is the male. And I don't know why he always has like a gangster lean going on, but he does. Like, he's always swaying. I don't know. It's almost like neurologic or something, but he seems healthy otherwise. And here's the female. They're California whites and I think a New Zealand white. I'm not sure. We got them from Amish country. But she is already bred. She was bred probably the day I put them two together. So I need to move her, or actually I'm going to move him. I'm going to move him over here to this side of the run that is separated. It's separated by wire. As soon as I get these little girls out of here. These girls hatched. We hatched them in an incubator on Easter. We try to plan out for when we have Easter here at our house that we have eggs hatching at Easter time when all of our family comes. So it's something fun for the kids to see. I hope these are all hens. I know at least 4 of them are, but I'm not for certain on the rest. There's 9 of them. They need to go down, but my husband, he needed to get rid of some of the roosters first in order for them to go down, so they had at least a chance at not getting pecked to death. We introduce them very slow. I put them in a dog crate down there for several weeks in the coop in the chicken coop at night, and then out in the run during the day, so that they can get accustomed to one another. And then I let them out, and I usually don't have any problems. I don't just throw them in there with them. But this is about the age that they go down. So that's our newest. We have chickens for eggs and for meat. We haven't gotten strictly meat birds before, but I think this year we will be. We have the rabbits for meat. I haven't had, well, I did have rabbit meat when I was a little girl. My dad would hunt and bring it home, but I haven't had it as an adult, so I don't really remember. But I've heard it tastes just like chicken. Just like chicken. So hopefully it does. She only takes, I think, 32 days or 28 days from being bred till delivery. So she should be any day. So I really need to get these two separated. Hop away. This is a pasture back here behind our house. You all the way up and around. It's about an acre. It's fenced. I have electric fence up. We had a horse or two horses here. And the horses, they just, like I said before, it's just kind of a waste. I don't have time. I just don't have time with little kids I gotta take care of. I just don't have time for animals that I have to put too much energy into. I would rather have something growing for our family, for food. So that's that so far. We don't have anything back there. I'm looking at maybe a beef cow, some dairy goats, but the goats, they don't stay in the electric for anything. If you look next to us, this is something that irritates me about living in the country. You see all that field? I don't know if you can see it. We'll walk over there. This is the farmers around us. When you live in the country, the one disservice that you have to deal with is they spray the fields with herbicides and pesticides, and you can smell it and you can taste it, and you just worry about what your kids are being exposed to. Just look at it, all brown, sprayed, and it's all around us. Our whole road is just sprayed with this crap, this toxic crap that they think is okay, they say is okay, but it's not. You know it's not. Anything that kills anything is not okay. Come on. Common sense. Anyway, off my soapbox. Here's our blackberries right next to the garden. They're beautiful. We got these from Miller's Nursery. They're upright. They're about 5 foot tall. They produce like, whoa. I mean, they produce like crazy. 3-inch long blackberries. They're a thornless variety. I would definitely recommend them. I think they're called Chester or Natchez. I don't know. Go to millersnursery.com and look at their blackberries, their thornless blackberries. Whatever it is, that's what it is. And these give tons and tons. And of course, mulching around them does wonders. And what we do is when they grow and they touch down, these blackberries will grow and start to touch into the ground, and you can just pull them up and plant them. Look, he's about to touch and start rooting. They'll root right in. You can just pull them up, roots and all, and replant them, and you'll have a whole new bush. Cat pooping in the garden. Awesome. Over here are our neighbors. Here's our raspberry bushes, our little raspberry patch. This is our mini one, and it did not do as well. It has been here for 3 years now, as long as the blackberries have. And if you look, I mean, this is monstrous. They're huge and everywhere, and it's 6 plants. Let me show you our raspberries. Same thing, it was 6 plants. Not many. They're sparse. They're thin. They haven't been sending up a ton of shoots. There's nothing in here. This all just died in between here. So I don't know what to do about all that. I might just try to move them or mow them over. They're not doing all that well. We planted a whole new blackberry and raspberry patch at the other side of the pasture because, like I think I've mentioned before, I just like privacy. And I think that having something that's edible, that's also going to have a covering effect of the fence line, is going to be good for our family. It'll keep us private, keep growing food. So I feel like I'm missing a lot of things. I said a lot of things in my other video, but I can't remember it all. I did better in my other one, but the quality was no good. Over here, and this is what my husband said. He said that we're building an empire with cattle panel, and he might be right. Cattle panels you can buy in any feed store or a Tractor Supply. Look at them. They're 16 foot long. They're 4 foot high. We attached them to these posts every 8 foot, so there would be one on the end, one in the middle, one on the end, and then we did it again. And we put our grapevines on them. And I think this is an excellent idea because I've looked at the Amish way of doing it and the T-pole effect and arbors and all that. And I just wanted something simple and straight up and down that it wouldn't get too out of control. It was easy to get to on both sides, and this is what we came up with. I love it. They're every 3 feet. They're way too close together. My husband, he hates when I do that, but I like a lot of stuff. I just want more stuff growing. I don't know if they're gonna choke each other out or not. If so, I guess we'll have to take one up. But they're doing great. They'll wrap right around. They wrap right around, come right on up. Here's the ones from last year. You cut them way back to nothing. They like that, actually. They like being trimmed back hard, and they just shoot right back up in the spring. Again, plenty of mulch. Mulch is key here for nutrients and keeping the weeds down. So I think I'm going to end this video here, since I did the grapes and the strawberries and the blackberries and the raspberries, the greenhouse and the garden, rabbits and baby chicks. And I think we're going to stop this video and we'll move on to the orchard video next, and I'll just do that one so it's not like a video that's 4 hours long, because I could just keep talking. I am so just obsessed with this kind of thing. It feels good to be outside, to grow your own food, to be just self-sufficient. It's a passion, really. It's once you start doing it. And one of my biggest passions in doing all this is helping someone else get started down the same road of self-sufficiency and growing for their family and taking things into their own hands, not being at the mercy of the stores and whatnot around you. I love helping my friends, helping my family. So the next video that I'll be doing will be on our orchard. So bye for now. I hope some of this has given you some ideas or some help, and I will be talking to you all soon. Bye-bye.